Well, good morning, everyone. Mayor Steve Wilder here for the City of North Canton for my weekly community update for North Canton and the greater community. Here we are, first day of autumn, September 22nd, 2021. And as we all know, the good news and the bad news is we'll start seeing more darkness than light. And we're saying goodbye to summer and hello to fall. I don't know if you noticed it the last few nights, we've had a full harvest moon, and that's been very visible these last few nights. Technically, we're supposed to have 12 hours in 12 and 12 today, 12 hours and 11 minutes, or 12 minutes, but it's 12 hours and 11 minutes, according to the internet. How's that sound? But here we are for our first day of autumn. And it kind of looks that way right now. So here we go. Hey, here's something I was just looking around to see what happens on this day. I found this very interesting. It was on September 22nd, 1862, and partly in response to the heavy losses inflicted at the Battle of Antietam, President Abraham Lincoln issued a preliminary Emancipation Proclamation, threatening to free all the enslaved people in the states in rebellion if those states did not return to the Union by January 1, 1863. Excuse me. The extent of the proclamation's practical effect has been debated, as it was legally binding only in territory not under Union control. In the short term, it amounted to no more than a statement of policy for the Federal Army as it moved into the Southern Territory. And it was on January 1, 1863, that President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation. And that led us to the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution, abolishing slavery and involuntary servitude, except as punishment for a crime. The amendment was passed by Congress on January 31, 1865, and ratified by the required 27 of then 36 states on December 6, 1865, and proclaimed on December 18. It was the first of the three Reconstruction Amendments adopted following the Civil War. I thought that was pretty neat to understand. As we talk about history, we have an organization in this country called the Daughters of American Revolution. And they always bring it out that we're very fortunate in this country to celebrate Constitution Day. So let me just back up a little bit. I made a proclamation on their behalf, whereas on September the 17th, 2021, marks the 234th anniversary of the drafting of the Constitution of the United States of America by the Constitutional Convention. And whereas it is fitting and proper to accord official recognition to this magnificent document and it is memorable anniversary, and to the patriotic celebrations which will commemorate the occasion. And whereas in Public Law 915-915 guarantees the issuing of a proclamation each year by the President of the United States of America designating September 17th through the 23rd as Constitution Week. And whereas all citizens are urged to study the Constitution and reflect on the privilege of being an American with all rights and responsibilities which that privilege provides. And now, therefore, I, Stephen B. Wilder, Mayor for the City of North Canton, by virtue of the authority vested in me as Mayor of the City of North Canton, Ohio, do hereby proclaim the week of September 17 through September 23rd as Constitution Week. And that was proclaimed the 13th day of September, 2021, by order of the mayor. I had the good fortune to be invited to Professor Carrie Long, professor at Walsh University. Last Friday was Constitution Day, September the 17th. And for myself, Kyle Stone, prosecutor for Stark County, and good friend and Professor Emeritus, Dean Carroll from Akron School of Law. We talked a little bit about my journey through public service. We also talked about the 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments, and also a little bit about the history of the Constitution. And we spoke before about 80 high school students, high school seniors from the Canton area who were on a trip to view Walsh University. But, and it was, we had the president of their student, of their, I wouldn't say student body, of their political science group. He was there with his assistant, and a very nice young lady introducing us there. So it was very, very worthwhile, and the kids had a little bit of a upschooling on the Constitution. So again, Walsh University, thank you very much for inviting me and my co-host, Dean Carroll, and Kyle Stone, prosecutor for Stark County. Along that line of government, I want to welcome some new employees to the City of North Canton. Recently, we appointed full-time Daniel Leckie and Joshua Amstutz. They are now full-time firefighter paramedics with the North Canton Fire Department. And we also brought along Park Blaine and Soren Chelsea Johnson. They are now part-time firefighters, EMTs, both going through paramedic school. So congratulations to them, and good to have them here. We have been recently publishing a legislative bulletin that you can go online at our website, and you can find bulletin number 9, 2021. It's generally a synopsis of our committee of the whole meetings or our council meetings. And I want to bring to your attention one of the things that we ended with the meeting, and presented by Vice President Darrell Revolt, gave a presentation on the old Hoover factory, on the West Factory. Folks, we do pay attention to the survey that was completed, and we had over 100 inquiries or questions about what's happening with the Hoover district. And I want to just clarify some information that is being circulated out there, and I believe it's false or misinformation. The question is, has the mayor, myself, or the city administration have we ever been in contact over the last 2 years, at least, that I've been in office, with the owners of IRG, Industrial Realty Group, or Industrial Commercial Properties, and with the owner, Stu Lechner? And folks, in fact, I have, and the City of Mission has. And we have been doing that ever since January of 2020, a month after I was appointed and in office. So we have had communications with them throughout that year. COVID came in and prevented any kind of movement, as any of us know, in the county for a number of reasons. But we've had constant communication with them throughout the year of 2021. So the information that's being presented, that I haven't been in contact or generated any contact with them, whether I call it or whether a council person calls the meeting, we have been in contact with the representatives of IRG and Industrial Commercial Properties, ICP. In fact, we have many conversations with the good news with our Diebold Nixdorf expansion going forward. So I've been in on those talks, and I have personally visited the offices of Industrial Realty Group up in Richfield. So for those people who think that I haven't been working hard on this project, I have. I think my promise, as I recall, I don't think, I know, I was trying to end the stalemate with the city, or with the stagnation of the development of the Hoover district. Folks, what I've done is I've kept those lines of communication open, and we have been talking about things, and so we've had our meetings. So I just want you to understand that I've reached out to our state representative. I've talked with representatives of Congressman Gonzalez's office in one way or another, getting perspectives on how we can help move this project forward. So I think right now that we've had a good talk here in the last week or two, and that the comments I received from Stu Lechner is that he has worked well with this administration. And so all I can say is we're keeping our communication open, and I'm cautiously optimistic that we'll still continue to work on the redevelopment of the Hoover district. So thank you for your time and patience with that. I want to bring to your attention, as we have completed the resurfacing of North Main Street from 7th Street up to Orion. And this whole last week, we were trying to get the permanent striping done. Obviously, the rain has come in and hindered us a little bit. So hopefully, the rest of this week or the first of next week, we'll have the pavement striping completed. And then we'll get the street sweeper out there. We'll clean up the curbs and things like that. So there is a little cleanup there to be done. But again, 99% of the project was completed ahead of schedule, folks. So thank you for your patience with that. I want to bring to your attention my recent conversation with the Stark County Health Department and an update. Right now, Stark County has issued 65,874 first or second doses for COVID vaccinations. They're averaging, when I say this, the county is averaging 147 cases per day, new cases of COVID symptom. Recapping, in June, they had 198 cases. In July, documented 400 cases of COVID. In August, 1,832 in August, and 2,790 to 9/19 of September. I believe the first week they had 1,139 cases, just the first week of September. So unfortunately, we're averaging about 455 cases per 100,000 people. The clinics are still available through the health department, Stark County Health Department, for those who live in North Canton. And so you still call and try to get an appointment or vaccination. And I believe still you can walk into any of our local drugstores and get a vaccination. In Ohio, 6,236,475 individuals have received vaccinations. That comes out to about 53% to date. They're averaging 683 cases per 100,000 people. Right now, Stark County is at about 58% of the population has been vaccinated. Let's see. The report from Alliance, Massillon, and Altman, or Alliance and Massillon and Canton, all have seen increases in COVID cases being reported. Unfortunately, at Altman, their report was they had 84 COVID patients, 16 in Alliance, 66 in Canton, and 2 at their Oroville campus. 21 of those individuals were in ICU or critical care, and 13 of them on vents. In the last 24 hours, that would have been Monday to Tuesday, they had 18 new cases come in 24 hours. Unfortunately, the people that are coming in are averaging between 80 and 86% unvaccinated. Those are the cases that they're getting. So, and the emergency rooms, the emergency departments are staffed, but they're under a lot of pressure, and because of the there's waiting periods that are starting to occur for our fire departments that are transporting patients because of the COVID. Depending on how bad if it's a hurry case, then yes, they'll probably triage very quickly, but be prepared for a wait, folks, if you're, just so you know. Unfortunately, that puts a burden on our fire departments, especially our smaller ones in the county. Think of the wait that they have to wait if they're coming from Minerva or East Sparta or from Waynesburg or something like that. When you only have one ambulance, that's a long wait. So just be prepared for that. Cleveland Clinic, Mercy, they had 74 cases, 24 in ICU, and 5 in ventilators. And they had about 20 employees out with COVID-like symptoms. And Canton Health Department, for those in Canton, Jim Adams, they are still going to have a clinic at the Malone East campus, and they're going to have some vaccine clinics. And it could be like on Wednesdays or Thursdays from 9 to 2. So you may want to check their website for that information. And I think that's all I have for you on the COVID part of it. Good news again, the Dogwood Inclusivity Playground and Park is still progressing, and we're glad on that. There again, we're going to get as much done as we can till the weather prevents us. So I'm very encouraged by that. Some of our sanitary or our storm drains are finally in now, and we're going to try to start working on our streets up there around Orchard to get that part of the phase 1 completed across from the Masonic Temple with a shelter and a parking lot here as soon as possible. I've had a few calls on recycling options for fall cleanup. Again, starting October the 18th through the 26th, that's going to be our North Canton leaf pickup, and they'll be looking for your debris to be in paper bags. You're going to have to call Kimball for recycling pickup. Again, unfortunately, they're understaffed for their drivers, and that won't be until let's see. Yeah, like I said, leaf pickup is going to be October the 18th and the 26th. And I can give you that number a little closer to town, or to that time. In the meantime, you can still put your yard waste in 30-gallon bags. Bags are not to weigh more than 50 pounds. Tree and brush clippings must be not extend 4 foot long, and they must be tied up or bundled for pickup. And if you're going to have mattresses or something like that, or you call Kimball at 1-800-2000 or 201-005. Again, call them at 1-800-201-0005 and for that special pickup. So share that with you. This came from Rita, who handles our income taxes. Last week, approximately 3,098 non-filer letters were mailed to taxpayers that neglected to file a municipal income tax return for our municipality here in North Canton. So taxpayers can preferably e-file returns or exemptions at www.ritaohio.com. That's www.ritaohio.com. Or they can mail or fax to Rita the documents listed on their non-filing letter to their compliance department. Their fax number is 440-922-3510. If you have any questions, I do have this phone number, 1-800-860-7482. Again, you'll go through Rita on the responding to the letters that you receive. Folks, this is happening again in our community, and just not us, but in Stark County or throughout Ohio or the country. There's scams about targeting loved ones. And I don't know if you have heard about these things, but they're called emergency scams, or some kind called grandparent scams. And they prey on the willingness of an unsuspecting worried individual to help friends and family in need. Often they will impersonate their loved ones and make up urgent attention and plead for help and money. And they do this through their social media sites. How the scam works is like this. Emergency scams are about a family member or friend in dire situation. You get a call, an email, or a social media message from someone claiming to be a family member in distress. They may say they've been arrested or while traveling overseas, or was in an accident or medical emergency or some kind of calamity. They provide convincing details such as family names, school districts, and things like this, or school details. A common version is the grandparent scam. Somehow the con artist contacts a grandparent claiming to be their grandchild and asking for money. And the plea is so persuasive that the grandparent wires money to the scammer, only to find out later their family member was safe and sound all along. And this scam can also work in reverse, where the grandparent calls their grandchild pleading for help, where someone pretends to be the grandparent. So the biggest thing is just remember to stay in communication with your loved ones, with your family, so you know where they're at, whether they're traveling or leaving the state, or just checking in with your older family members. And resist the urge to act immediately, okay? No matter how dramatic the story is, check out the story with other family friends, but hang up or close the message and call your loved ones directly, all right? And don't call the phone number provided by the caller or the caller ID. Ask a personal question. Don't disclose too much information. And ask questions that would be hard for an imposter to answer correctly. So the big thing is know what your family members are sharing online. Don't wire any money if there's any doubt, because once that money is wired, folks, it's gone. You'll never recoup that loss. And so if you want more information, you can always contact the Better Business Bureau at 330-454-9401 to look up any businesses or file a complaint about that kind of things. Last week we had a very busy week with the dedication of the Walsh University new football stadium. I was invited there to be there with Dr. Collins and other dignitaries from the university and the student athletes to dedicate the third phase, I believe, of their stadium development. So that was pretty cool on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, on September the 16th, I had the honor to be a part of the groundbreaking ceremony for the pre-K, the second grade. That's going to be here on Charlotte Street, northwest, and we also went over to the third grade to fifth grade site at Claremont Elementary School. So those are all under construction. Dirt is being moved, and so patience is a virtue. Our schools will be coming through. Hopefully, a whole new generation will be experiencing a new learning environment. This also from the schools. They need substitute teachers, bus drivers, and lunch ladies, and more. So you can go to their website, and the North Canton City School Board of Education has increased the daily pay for certified substitute teachers from $90 to $110 per day for the rest of the school year, and that's effective immediately. And for information about becoming a substitute teacher, you can go to www.starkcountyesc.org and look for the guides there. Or again, just go to the North Canton Schools website and look for employment. So just wanted to share that with you, that they're looking for employees. And that's all I have for you today. We have a lot going on still, and I just want to keep you in mind that this office and the city administration and and some members of council, okay, we're all trying to work together to get this Hoover district going and other projects we have in the city. So all I can ask is still be patient. It's been a challenging year to get projects going. So I appreciate your time and the honor to serve as mayor for the city of North Canton. Please stay safe and keep well, and we'll see what news we have for next Wednesday. Thank you. Goodbye.